पञ्चदशोऽध्यायः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Uma Mataji, for reciting the Bhagavad Gita verses so beautifully.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
Hare Krishna, Ma Mataji, for beautiful recitation of Bhagavad Gita.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी.
For a very nice recitation.
Thank you Mataji. Thank you for giving the opportunity to recite. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Ma Mataji. Thank you so much for the very beautiful recitation. Hare Krishna. Nika Mataji, you're doing welcoming? Hare Krishna, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Okay. Thank you. Should we start or we'll wait for a minute and then start? I thought, okay. Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंतकोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय। नमाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। ऑल ग्लोरीज टू द assembled devotees. हरे कृष्ण. This is Sanita Ramya from Sharjah. We welcoming all of you to this Bhakti Sangha mid-morning session of Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat. Before moving on to the session, let me know who are all present on the call today.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago and all glories to your services, Mataji, all the time.
Hare Krishna, Yashomati Priya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. All glories to all your wonderful services, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Neetu from Baltimore.
Hare Krishna, Neetu Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your wonderful association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Dandavad pranams to you. Dandavad pranams to all devotees here. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Sumi from California.
Hare Krishna, Sumi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your valuable association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All goes to Srila Prabhupada. This is Ishwar Das from Edmonton, Alberta. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Ishwar Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Welcome to the call, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji, and pranam to you and all Vaishnava. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai. Vrinda from Atlanta, Paniyati Dham.
Hare Krishna, Vrinda Gopika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Uma from Portland, Oregon.
Hare Krishna, Uma Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna, thank you so much for the wonderful recitation once again, Mataji. Hare Krishna, thank you, Ishwar Prabhu, for your wonderful service. I think you were the one who gave the baking class, right? Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for that. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call for the mid-morning session of Sri Caitanya Bhagavat. Before moving on to the session, I'd like to read Prabhupada's quote for today. Today, 12th May, Hare Krishna Mataji, we are recording.
Mataji, you can wait a little bit if it's okay, because Prabhuji has yet not joined.
Yeah, okay, no problem. Yes, Mataji. So, devotees, anybody else who would like to introduce themselves, please go ahead. Still we have time. You can give your attendance to Krishna through Bhakti Sangha, saying him that you're present on the call today to hear his Krishna Katha.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
So glories to Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharajas, and all the assembled Vaishnavas. This is Kirtidasi.
Hare Krishna, Kirtida Sundari Mataji. Hare Krishna, Priti Vilasini Mataji. Krishna always knows that you both of them are always there for Bhakti Sangha, and he is always seeing you. Thank you so much to both of the Matajis for joining the call and giving us your association. Welcome to the call, Priti Vilasini Mataji. Sorry, before you introduce yourself, I just call out your name. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji Dandat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. This is Sunil from India.
Hare Krishna, Sunil Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving us an association. And thank you so much for your wonderful attendance of hearing and sharing with us. Hare Krishna. Welcome to the call, Prabhu. Anybody else who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. This is Chinmay Vrajapriya Devidasi.
Hare Krishna, Chinmay Vrajapriya Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us an association. Welcome to the call, Mataji. Thank you so much for all your wonderful services, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Anybody else who would like to introduce? Prabhuji has not joined. Maybe it will take time. So you can go ahead with your introduction, or otherwise we can chant till Prabhuji come. Yes. Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. This is all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Janava Devidasi from Alachua.
Hare Krishna, Janava Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Hare Krishna, welcome to the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else who would like to introduce? Okay, then let's chant till Prabhuji joins. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for joining the call and giving us your valuable time and association. And before moving on to the session, I would like to read Prabhupada's quote for today. It's 12th May today. Prabhupada has written from Bombay in 1974. Just work in such a way that God may see you. This is the Krishna consciousness movement. Everyone is busy to see God. Of course, it is not easy to see God, but a devotee is not busy to see God, but he wants God to see him. Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Please accept my humble obeisances once again. And today's topic will be from Sri Caitanya Bhagavad, Antya khanda, chapter 9, verses from 280 to 307. Over to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Salvasha Prabhupada. Excuse me for, joining in late. Got bit stuck. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. So, this is a chapter about the glories of Advaita Acharya. So, we will see from verse 280 to 307. एकदिन प्रभु वसियाचे सुप्रकाशे अद्वैत श्रीवास आदि भक्तचारी पाशे. One day the Lord was sitting among the devotees headed by Advaita and Srivasa. Srivasa Pandite tabe Ishvara apane Acharyera varta jignasena tanastane. The Lord then asked Srivasa Pandita about Advaita Acharya. प्रभु बोले श्रीनिवास कहा था हमारे की रूप वैष्णव तुम्ही वाशा अद्वैते रे. The Lord said, O Srivasa, please tell me what kind of Vaishnava you think Advaita Prabhu is. Mane Bhavi Balila Srivasa Mahashayam Shukava Prahlada Ena Mora Mane Layam. Srivas Pandita thought for a moment and then said, I consider him similar to Sukadeva or Prahlad. Advaitera upama Prahlada Shuka enam Suni Prabhu Krode Srivasera Marilena. Hearing the comparison of Advaita with Prahlada and Sukadev, the Lord became angry and hit Srivasa. Pitayena putra shikayate sneha mare yai mata eka chhada haila Srivasere. As an affectionate father spanks his son to teach him, in the same way the Lord gave one slap to Srivasa. Ki balili Pandita Srivasa Mohara Nadare Kaha Sukava Prahlada. What did you say? What did you say, Pandita Srivasa? You're saying my Nada is like Sukadeva or Prahlad? Yeshukera Mukta Tumi Bala Sarva Mate Kalikara Bhalaka Sukanadhara Aghete. You may say that Sukadeva is fully liberated, but in front of Nada, he is like an infant. Eta bada vakya mora nadare balili aji bada shivasiya more dukadhili. How dare you say such things about my Nada? O Srivasa, you have given me great distress today. Eta bali krode hate chipayashti layam Srivasere mari bhare yana kedadiyam. Saying this, the Lord angrily took a fishing rod in his hand and chased after Srivasa to hit him. Sambrame Utyashri Advaita Mahashayam Darila Prabhura Hasta Kariya Vinayam. Sri Advaita Acharya quickly stood up and gently caught hold of the Lord's hand. Balakere Bhapa Shikai Ba Kripa Mane Ke Ache Tomara Krodha Patra Tribhuvane. O Lord, your father teaches his sons out of compassion. Therefore, who in the three worlds is a suitable candidate for your anger? Acharyera Vakya Prabhu Krodha Kari Duram Avesha Kahena Tana Mahima Prachuram. Hearing the words of Advaita Acharya, the Lord gave up his anger and in ecstasy began to profusely glorify Advaita. Prabhu bole to ara balaka sishu moram ete ke sakhala krota duragela moram. The Lord said, since all of you are like my children, my anger is now vanished. Mora nara jani bare ache hena janam e mohare anileka bhangiya shayanam. Who could know the glories of Nada? It was he who woke me up from sleep and brought me here. Prabhu bole ahe Sri Vasa Mahashayam Mohara Nadare ye Tomara Vinayam. The Lord said, O Sri Vasa, is this how you respect my Nada? Sukadikari Sababhalaka Uharam Nadara Pache Se Janma Janiha Sabharam. Shuka and others are like his children. You should know that they are all junior to Nada. Advaitera lagi mora ei avataram mora karne bhaje ashi nadara hunkaram. I have incarnated only because of Advaita Prabhu. His loud crying is still ringing in my ears. Sayane Ajinu Muni Shiroda Sagarim Jagayanila More Nadara Hunkarim. I was lying down in the ocean of milk and my Nada's loud cries woke me and brought me here. श्रीवासेरे अद्वैतेर प्रति बड़ा प्रीता प्रभु वाक्य सुनी हाइला अति हर्षिता. Srivasa, who had natural affection for Advaita, became very happy when he heard the Lord's statements. Mahabhaya kampahai balena Srivasa aparada karilu Shamaha Morenata. Trembling in fear, Srivasa said, "O my Lord, I have offended you. Please forgive me." Tomara Advaita Tattva Jana Tumi. Sei tumi jana ile se janaya anya deshe dase. You alone know the truth about Advaita. If you disclose this truth, then other servants can know. Ajibora Mahabhagya Shakala Mangalam Shikaiya Amare Apane Kaila Phalam. Today I have become fortunate and everything has become auspicious as a result of receiving your instructions. Ekane se takurali baliya ye tomara aji bada mane bala badaila amara. Now you have revealed your authority and my mind has become strengthened today. Ye mora manera sankalpa aji haite madira yavani yadi dharena advaite tatapi kariba bhakti advaitara pratim kahilun tomare prabhu satya kariyati. From today, my resolve is that if Advaita Prabhu touches even wine or woman, still I will have staunch devotion for him. I make this promise before you. Commentary by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. When Sri Gaura Sundara asked Srivas Pandita about the position of Advaita, and Srivasa replied that Advaita Prabhu was among the topmost devotees like Sri Sukadeva or Prahlada, Gaura Sundara became very angry about his evaluation and said, Sri Advaita Prabhu is the prime cause of my advent. From him all the devotees have appeared. He is the manifestation of Lord Vishnu's Upadana Karana. Therefore, he is non-different from Lord Vishnu and does not belong to the category of devotees. When Srivasa understood from Gaura Sundara's statement that one should not count Advaita Prabhu by external worldly consideration as a devotee, he said, from today on, I will accept Advaita Prabhu as Vishnu Tattva. Therefore, I will not consider Advaita Prabhu on the same level as living entities attached to indulging in intoxicants and sense gratification. I will also understand that there is no possibility for Vishnu Tattva to become materially affected as confirmed in the verse. Na prakara tattvam na praka na praka na prakritatvam iha bhakta janasya pashed. A pure devotee should not be seen from materialistic point of view. Text 306. Tushta hailena prabhu Srivasa vachane purva praya anande vashilati na jane. The Lord became satisfied on hearing Srivasa's words. The three of them then happily sat down together as before. Paramarahasyaye sakala punya katam ihara shravane krishna paya sarvatam. All these auspicious narrations are most confidential. By hearing these topics, one surely attains Krishna. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakayam Chakshurun Militam Yenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Machchitta Madgada Prana Bodhayanta Parasparam Katayantascha Mam Nityam Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. When devotees, when they discuss about the transcendental subject matter, they find that topic of discussing about the Lord's transcendental activities and Lord's transcendental pastimes to be exceedingly pleasing, and it gives them lots of pleasure. It is said that when two devotees come together, the topic that they prefer to talk is glorifying about their beloved Lord and their beloved Master. So, here the context is very interesting. We have the Lord, and we also have the Lord's dearmost associates. So the Leela that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is playing here is not only reiterates the importance of glorifying Vaishnavas, it also reiterates the fact that the loving relationship that the Lord is having towards his dearest associates can actually control the Lord. The devotees have that much love that the Lord is desired to be controlled by them. The supreme controller, the supreme enjoyer, the supreme benefactor at situations would like to behave as servant to his servants. These chapters of glorifying Advaita Acharya, for all of us who have been following Caitanya Bhagavata, probably this is the nth instance. We could have stopped counting where the Lord is wanting to glorify Advaita Acharya. If you skim through the entire Caitanya Bhagavata chapters, about two personalities, you will see multiple repetitions. One is about Advaita Acharya, another is about Nityananda Prabhu. It is impossible for the Lord to keep quiet in their Sangha. Whenever the Lord is with these great personalities, He has to glorify them. And the converse is doubly true. Whenever Nityananda Prabhu and Advaita Acharya were in the assembly of Caitanya Mahaprabhu, they were also not able to keep quiet, but for glorifying the Vaishnavas. So, these transcendental loving exchanges can be classified as purest form of spiritual cuisine, which can only give prema and nothing less than that. Because by the time we reach this context emotionally, by the time we reach this context devotionally, by the time we reach this portion of Krishna Katha by our spiritual practice, we are now going through them as some lessons and some definitely some purifying experience. But we are still scratching on the surface and does not even emote the real emotions that was flowing in there. For us to really share that emotions, we really need to transport ourselves, elevate ourselves, reach to that stage wherein that subject matter is never satiating. So in our conversation today, we will try to churn this current context and see what we have to learn. The very first lesson is about the definition and description about Advaita Acharya's position as Mahavishnu or Vishnu Tattva. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains in the commentary that he gave, he is explaining that Advaita Acharya is the manifestation of Lord Vishnu's Upadana Karana. Upadana Karana or means is a reason why the Supreme Lord, it is considered as the ingredient cause. Upadana Karana means ingredient cause. Ingredient cause of creation of or appearance of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Had Advaita Acharya not triggered, had Advaita Acharya not done the prayers, the manifestation of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela, I can't say what would have happened, but the Lord here is saying it has happened because of Advaita Acharya. Every time when the Lord has to appear, even though he is Swarat, even though he is absolutely free to do anything that he wants, appear anytime he wants, but there is always some trigger, some sort of a intervention by a devotee, invitation by a devotee, motivation by a devotee, request from a devotee, or something happening to a devotee, the Lord appears. So this upadana karanam, meaning the Lord's appearance root cause. We all know how Advaita Acharya performed his everyday prayer for 50 years, 50 plus years. He did Tulasi Shaligram Ganga Jal. To his Shaligram, he bathed every day using Ganga Jal and offered Tulasi Archana, and every day with tears flowing from his eyes, he was pleading the Lord to appear and deliver all of us. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance is because of several tears of Advaita Acharya for us. So my first reflection here is that Advaita Acharya's appearance, as is explained about by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance as explained by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, where Advaita Acharya was the root cause, and further Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj says, therefore, because he is the manifestation of Lord Vishnu's Upadana Karana, therefore he is not different from Lord Vishnu and does not belong to the category of devotees. So I may not be I'm not a Sanskrit scholar to elaborately say how this Upadana reason makes him from Jiva Tattva, or makes him a Vishnu Tattva. But by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj's statement here and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appreciation and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's comparison of Sukadeva Goswami and Prahlad Maharaj as infants in front of the devotion of Advaita Acharya, and the glories that about Advaita Acharya that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving, and is starting to dance and in being in ecstasy, establishes that such a personality does not belong to, as Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj explains, does not belong to any parts of this materialistic world where people are involved in intoxication and various sense gratificatory propensity. So Advaita Acharya's prayer, Advaita Acharya's request, Advaita Acharya's pleading for the fallen souls makes this entire equation very special. So along with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srivas Thakur, may we also offer our prostrated obeisances to Sripada Advaita Acharya to have prayed for us, cried for us, and worshipped the Supreme Lord, to invite Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to appear for us. In this, there are 3 lessons about Advaita Acharya's prayer to the Supreme Lord. Those 3 lessons makes him even more special. Lesson number 1 is about Advaita Acharya's patience. It was not 1 day prayer, 2 day prayer, 3 day prayer, 5, 10. It was a prayer for 50 long years. Sachidanand Maharaj is in one of the class, he was explaining that from Advaita Acharya's prayer to the Supreme Lord, we should learn these 3 lessons. Lesson number 1 is that as a practicing devotee, we need to have dhairya, patience. The patience here is that the Lord is definitely independent and the Lord is definitely merciful. It is only He has to decide when He has to bestow His mercy upon ourselves. Till that point in time, I will remain patient. I will not jump into conclusions. I will not try to, disown. I will not try to switch between different gods as typical sentimental religious mindset people do that. They pray to one demigod and another demigod, another demigod, another demigod, thinking that if not him, she will help, he will help, that person will help, this person will help. But here, the aspect by why Advaita Acharya was glorified was about his patience, which establishes the fundamental principle of Vaishnavism as explained by Rupa Goswami. The second lesson about Advaita Acharya's conduct was about his confidence. Because patience and confidence, they are two sides of the same coin in devotion. Because of the confidence, you have patience, and patience imbued with confidence makes our prayer, makes our devotion extremely strong. One of the 6 characteristic features of Sharanagati is Rakshishyadi Vishwaso. The Lord will 100% bestow His benediction. 100% will protect. So that Vishwas, that confidence will make our devotion much, much more mature. Otherwise, we will be called as amateurs. So patience is number 1. Confidence is number 2. And number 3 is absolutely detached when he was trying to offer his prayers, that his intention was absolutely for the welfare of the society at large, not anything for himself. This is the same thing that is glorified in the first canto, first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, when the sages of Naimisharanya, they assembled for the welfare of the society at large. As we are serving in Ministry of Congregation Development, we keep talking to different devotees around the world. So we get to hear how there are devotees who have dedicated their life exclusively for the spreading of the Sankirtan mission, and they don't have any personal agenda. The day personal agenda comes in, the sanctity of devotional service gets compromised. When the day personal agenda is absolutely becomes zero, then that person actually becomes worshipable and he is seen beyond all dualities. As Vrindavan Das Thakura is explaining, as Srivas Thakura is glorifying, he is telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that now you have told about Advaita Acharya, even if he is going to touch wine and women, I will still worship him. There was an article in a Back to Garden magazine several years before. The article was written by His Holiness Jayadvaita Maharaj. Jayadvaita Maharaj quoted a very controversial statement that Prabhupada has made. He said, even if you happen to see Brahmananda smoking a cigarette, you still offer obeisances to him. Meaning, Srila Prabhupada made that a statement of the kind of service, dedication, surrender that those devotees had done for Srila Prabhupada is beyond materialistic perspective. That even if you happen to see them something quote unquote materialistic, you still understand that they are pure. Here it is not supposed to be seen as Prabhupada endorsing smoking of cigarette. Here you should see that Prabhupada endorsing the power of transcendental devotional service is so pure that materialism cannot touch them. So my first reflection to conclude that Advaitacharya, being a great personality to the extent of upadhana, karana for the Supreme Lord, is an ingredient cause. He is the reason why the Lord appeared, and he made the Lord appear with these three special attributes. He consistently prayed to his Shaligram for 50 long years, and in that he exhibited significant patience, significant confidence, and absolutely being detached, that he was only interested in the welfare activities of everyone. And he literally wept for all of us and invited the Lord. So this is my first reflection from this current context. Second reflection is that you will see that here there is a comparison. Srivas Thakur is comparing Advaitacharya with Sukadeva Goswami and Prahlad. And Advaitacharya getting upset with that comparison to the extent he is going and slapping Srivas Thakur. And looking at that scenario, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is getting ecstatic, and he is further going after Srivas Thakur and saying that how come you are insulting Sri Advaitacharya, that you have downgraded them, you are supposed to glorify Advaitacharya much more. And if I can recollect this, the way Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to glorify Advaitacharya here, Advaitacharya also wanted to get special mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the second reflection here is about a very complex, intertwined, superlatively sweeter relationship in which we simply have to hear and enjoy, and cannot imitate or try to map that with any of these things happening in this material world. Meaning, technically, by this transcendental comparison, it is about glorifying Advaitacharya, not downgrading Srivas Thakur or Prahlad Maharaj. So in our learning practices, we should remember that when we are in the assembly of Vaishnavas, we need to make sure that we glorify a Vaishnava, appreciate about the services of a Vaishnava, and in that process, we simply have to focus on the Vaishnava's glorification and does not have to dwell on any other things. And that's exactly what has happened. Even though it may appear that Sukadeva Goswami and Prahlad Maharaj's position was downgraded to position Advaitacharya's to be up there, to substantiate my point, I would like to take the help of Brihad Bhagavatamrita. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, a similar situation was adopted. Every time when Narada Muni went to different devotees, every time when Narada Muni went to one devotee or the other, he went to Indra, then he went to Brahma, then he went to Lord Shiva, then he went to Prahlad Maharaj, then he went to Pandavas. See, he kept on moving from one place to other, based on the previous devotee's recommendation, all he heard was comparative glorification. And Lord Shiva was glorifying about Prahlad Maharaj. I may be wrong in the sequence, pardon me. But the idea was that every devotee was glorifying about every other devotee. And sometimes we may draw a conclusion that they are all hierarchically higher or lower or whatever that is. So even in this context, when Advaita Acharya was seen as a very strong, very highly elevated devotee, where Shukadeva Goswami and Prahlad Maharaj were seen as an infant in front of them, we need to understand these glorifications are absolute in nature. Because Krishna is saying this to Narada Muni at the fag end of first canto, first part of Brihad Bhagavatamrita. Narada Muni is having his prasadam with Krishna after all the episodes got over. At that time, Krishna is telling to Narada Muni. Krishna is telling, my dear Narada, all the devotees that you met on your entire journey, each of them are capable of delivering the entire universe, each one of them. They may be out of their own humility, out of their own, divine qualities, may have glorified others, but each and every one of them have their own special, unique position and can deliver the entire universe. So better not to misunderstand that anyone is better or inferior or better. So I want to say this as my second reflection in this context, to state that when we hear such glorification about Advaita Acharya, Sukadeva Goswami, Prahlad Maharaj and their comparison, it is only that everybody is glorifying Advaita Acharya, and the focus is to glorify and take Advaita Acharya to the topmost position rather than trying to demean anyone. So that is why I said it's pure nectar, and that cannot be applied in our colloquial context. Sometimes we devotees tend to use these situations in our context for comparing between Vaishnavas. So in devotional service, such a comparison may be there in transcendental plane, but should be avoided in the normal conditional plane, because each and every Vaishnava has got an unique direct relationship with Krishna, and any insult or any act of demeaning their position will only act against our devotional life. Brahmanda tarite shakti tare jane jane ei veda purane guna gaye zeva sune. The song, which is composed by Devakinandan Das, who once used to be called Gopala Chapal, in that song he is writing that Brahmanda tarite shakti tare jane jane ei veda purane gune gaye zeva sune. One devotee of the Supreme Lord has got the capacity to deliver the entire universe. And Vivekananda Das saying, I am not saying this. It is being said by E Veda Purane Gune Gaye Jeva Sune. This is what Puranas and Vedic literature are glorifying. So my second reflection is that our Vaishnavas transcendental loving relationships amongst them is sometimes naughty, sometimes emotional, sometimes extraordinarily confusing. Because as I mentioned about Advaita Acharya wanting to get the blessings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he spoke about Mayavada. If you remember, that Leela that happened in Shantipur. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could not tolerate them and he kicked Advaitacharya, and Advaitacharya kept laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing. So these are all transcendental, wonderful, loving relationships that we need to, just simply hear, enjoy, and not try to imitate or not try to compare them to the materialistic context. So hence my second reflection about this particular context is where Advaitacharya's transcendental glories, Advaitacharya's wonderful nature is being highlighted, not that anything otherwise, where we should not see that the position of Sukadeva Goswami or Prahlad Maharaj is being put down. Last reflection. In this context of Chaitanya Bhagavatam, where we are going to come to the fag end of Chaitanya Bhagavatam altogether, so we are learning a very interesting principle of devotional service. In materialistic world, as we become so-called advanced, as we become so-called knowledgeable, we tend to exhibit some sign of quote-unquote arrogance. Meaning, it is my way and I will do things in one particular way, and my dependency on others is immaterial and I will do this way. This is both in Krishna consciousness that we see devotees doing amateurishly, and also in the materialistic things. People want to always have their way of doing things. The lesson that I want to draw before and after is that how the sense of interdependency is very subtly communicated through these kinds of leelas. In my counseling sessions with grahasthas or with the youth or with anybody for that matter, we always use this principle of we. So here in this small, simple, sweet, loving exchange between these wonderful devotees, we see a sense of interdependency. What is his interdependency? Why is it that the Lord need to glorify Advaitacharya? Is it just a prank? Is it just pulling someone's leg? Is it just some sort of a formal acknowledgement? Is it just some sort of a family thing? My understanding is it is simply something that I call it as our interdependency towards each other, that even the Lord is saying, I am dependent. There is a wonderful context to explain this. In Samudra Manthan pastime, what happened was the demigods, they lost their kingdom and they went to Brahma, and when they asked Brahma, please help us, we are in trouble, Brahma is going towards Ksherasagara along with all the demigods and offering prayers. In the process of offering prayers, why he is offering prayers? He wants to have an audience with the Supreme Lord so that these demigods who are thrown out of their house can be reinstated. So there are several prayers that you will see 8th canto, 5th chapter. One of the prayer, Brahma is explaining that we are in mode of goodness if we don't understand the transcendental position of the Supreme Lord and worship Him and serve Him, glorify Him, favor Him. How come people in mode of passion and ignorance? How come demons and atheists will be able to appreciate and worship the Supreme Lord? So let us offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord. So this is the prayer that Brahma, out of all the prayers, this is one of the prayers that Brahma is telling. This is text 31 of 8th canto, 5th chapter. He says that if even we cannot understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead, what is to be said of those who are most insignificant in their bodily constitutions, being situated in the modes of passion and ignorance? How can they understand the Lord? Let us offer our respectful obeisances unto Him. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport the very beautiful explanation. I will just read a portion of that purport to establish the point of Lord exhibiting absolute love and His transcendental interdependency with His devotees. I am just reading a portion of the purport. Atheists think that they are independent and therefore they do not care about the supremacy of the Lord. Yet the Lord asserts His supremacy when He overcomes them as death. At the time of death, their attempts to use their so-called scientific knowledge and philosophical speculation to deny the supremacy of the Lord cannot work. Further, nonetheless, when Lord Nrsingadeva appeared in order to kill him, Hiranyakashipu's atheistic principles could not save him. Further down, Prabhupada writes, there the super soul is situated within them, but because of the predominance of mode of passion and ignorance, they cannot understand the supremacy of the Lord. Even the demigods, the devotees who are transcendently situated or situated on the platform of goodness are not fully aware of the qualities and position of the Lord. Therefore, to gain this understanding, the demigods headed by Lord Brahma offered their respectful obeisances to the Lord. My understanding when I was giving a class on this is that when we express our dependency on the Lord, when we express our complete surrender to the Lord, when we express our consciousness saying that, my dear Lord, my life is nothing without you, the reciprocation is, the Lord says that my life is nothing without you too. So this sense of interdependency, the sense of love, the sense of bond, the sense of absolute love between dearest devotees is such that the Supreme Lord ready to become subservient and He is ready to do anything for His dearest devotees. So sometimes you will see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu behaving in a funny manner. How many funny episodes, apparently funny ones, but through those funny, non-comprehensible episodes, the Lord is again and again enforcing this principle of how he is equally
Why? Why did
dependent.
you get up? No, no.
Why
What
he
you doing, dude? I'm
you
going
know,
back to.
he is repeatedly telling why he is so much glorifying Vaishnavas, why he is trying to create opportunities after opportunities after opportunities after opportunity to glorify Vaishnava. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela has so many episodes where simply he is creating opportunity to glorify a Vaishnava. He made Haridas Thakur glorify holy name so that he can glorify Haridas Thakur. He made Rupa Goswami to write about the Krishna Leela so that he can glorify Rupa Goswami. He can glorify Sanatana Goswami. He can glorify Gopalabhatta Goswami. He can glorify Ramananda Rai. And that's the Supreme Lord. That's the Father. That's the transcendental love. So this is a natural transcendental interdependency. The word interdependency is a slightly undermining statement. Here the interdependency is not from the materialistic requirement perspective. Here the interdependency is there is no existence of a devotee without the Lord's glories and the Lord's service, and there is no existence of Lord without his dear devotees. This Krishna is telling Arjuna in Padma Puran. There is a conversation between Krishna and Arjuna where Krishna is telling, my dear Arjuna, sun is rising, climates are changing, the entire universe is existing. People may be thinking it is because of me. But my dear Arjuna, please note, all these things is because of my dearest devotees. And he's making another statement saying that even I exist because of my devotees. So whenever we see such transcendental loving exchanges, apart from enjoying, apart from relishing, apart from sometimes wondering, we can at least carry home that how can I look around and check my devotee contacts list and increase my love and affection towards my fellow devotees at least by 1% further. Do my relationship with all my near and dear ones is independent of any expectations, is independent of vested interest, is independent of anything that we want to get in return. Can I have an unconditional relationship with my fellow devotees? I simply admire their love for Krishna. Can I simply admire their service attitude? Can I simply admire their, every moment of them glorifying, remembering about the Supreme Lord? Yes, that's it. That unconditional nature is still not yet come, because when we see devotees with expectations. When we see devotees with our own benchmarking of what to see in them, what not to see in them. But when we get to see in the same spirit as the Supreme Lord sees his dear devotees, which is not very easy. That is why these leelas are very wonderful. So hence my third reflection that I want to say here is that how the Supreme Lord is exhibiting a sense of transcendental interdependency, in the sense that my life is nothing, my existence is nothing. It is as if Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying that if Advaita Acharya had not come, I would have not come. It's as if Advaita Acharya is the cause of appearance, which is established. But we know Krishna is cause of causes. But then this is like a very wonderful intertwined scenario where the Lord is saying that I am dependent on the devotees, and the devotees' life is dependent on the Supreme Lord. And put together, this transcendental interdependency makes the devotional sentiment very special. That is why Krishna consciousness is nothing but purely devotional sentiments and sincerity, which is way beyond every philosophical paradigm. So may we all pray to the lotus feet of all those wonderful Vaishnavas about whom we are hearing, and also all those wonderful Vaishnavas who are glorifying and narrating about such wonderful things, that one day we will also evolve to that stage of acquiring transcendental consciousness, free from all sorts of mechanical and just philosophical, but we evolve to the stage of absolute love in service to the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord and our spiritual master. Hare Krishna, thank you so much. We have discussed three aspects today. One aspect is about Advaita Acharya's glories, about how Advaita Acharya happened to be the ingredient cause for the Lord's appearance, and the speciality of Advaita Acharya's meditation was he exhibited sincere patience, confidence, and absolutely detached nature for the and prayed only for the welfare of everyone. And in that way, Advaita Acharya's position was very highly glorified. Then we also discussed about how in our devotional journey, we discussed that one needs to learn to have the sense of interdependency, and we also discussed how all the Vaishnavas, they glorify each other, and there is nothing called as any comparison towards each other. It's all only transcendental glorification about their services, and each of them stands a unique position in their service. Hare Krishna, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Shri Chaitanya Bhagavat ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Any questions or comments or reflections? I'll be happy to respond.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very wonderful reflections, Prabhu, all three. First, saying the glories of Advaita Acharya, and then saying how the Lord stays in the heart of the devotees. And he is dependent upon the devotees. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Dear devotees, any questions or reflections? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Very wonderful session, Prabhu. Excellent session. And really like the first all three reflections were beautiful. But the first one really helps us to understand that how we should also develop patience. Like in Hindi, we say, Bhagwan ke ghar der hai, but andhera nahi, right? It may be delayed, but Krishna will do reciprocate to all our prayers. Prabhuji, one question I had in between, you were saying something about those devotees who have become arrogant because of their spiritual advancement, that they manifest their own ideas, their own whims, and they act according to their own thoughts. Means that interdependency with the other fellow devotees becomes zero.
Yes.
So you said that it is commonly seen in the material world, but also in the devotee circle. So my thought is that, okay, if we see such kind of a devotee, then that dosh darshan has happened for sure, because we have seen that fault. And we don't want to do dosha kirtan, definitely not. But then on our own, on our personal level, how to deal with such scenarios?
Actually, it's very difficult question to even comprehend, because of the nature of our conditioning. I'm not sure if I can do justice by response, but I'll still give you a philosophical answer. The last point that I mentioned, where we simply glorifying and appreciating a Rasika Bhakta or a transcendental devotee, but what is happening in these pastimes and all is, this is pure rasa, pure absolute rasa, no tinge of this. And in these transactions, when we hear this and when we keep narrating, keep hearing and narrating, we will develop some sense of humility as a part of this hearing and narrating. And every time when I hear these questions, my only solutions that goes is that we can avoid our fault finding nature only by inculcating the sense of menial service attitude. So what happens is that the sense of arrogance come in because I dwell on my accomplishment and I dwell on others' weakness. But when I perform menial service, when I perform humble services, um, I tend to slowly shun my ego. I am taking a relationship series class to youths here in Navi Mumbai. So we are on a chapter called Emotional Intelligence. So as an introduction to that chapter, I mentioned there are 4 ingredients that define a person to be emotionally strong. If you want to know that, because nowadays children are, because these are all youths, some of them are the age of marriage, some of them are just still figuring it out about life. So emotional quotient and emotional intelligence is slightly weaker. But that's when we behave, such a manner. Like when I'm not emotionally a stable person, that's when I misbehave, become arrogant, try to judge someone. All those things happens because of our emotional weakness. So one of the, so I said as a emotional assessment, where do I stand? 4 ingredients I said. Number 1, empathy. Number 2, humility. Number 3, forgiving and asking for forgiveness. And number 4, gratitude. We refer these qualities in 25 different places. But the point is, if you want to assess yourself, how much emotionally strong I am, I'm empathetical, because the moment I see other person's faults, maybe you see them arrogant, or maybe you see them independent, maybe you see them anything, I guess we suddenly jumping into some sort of a conclusion is out of our emotional weakness only, because an emotionally matured person does not even judge, he just simply enjoys, sees only those things that are beautiful and conducive for him, and those things that are non-conducive, he learns the principle of ignoring. So my answer to you is 2 things. One is, the way we can help ourselves is, according to me, is by simply performing menial services in under the bona fide authorities. Menial services, apart from all the other services, do sometimes go and wash pots. And I mean, when I say this, to wash pots, every mother says that we do every day at home. Here when I say menial services, refer to something under the authority and does not have a 5-star profile service. Giving a Bhagavatam class is a responsible service, but it's an easy service, one of the easiest service, because you have to hear some Vaishnava's class, make notes, come and repeat it here. It's good service, important service. But to live by that class, if somebody start chasing my life personally, I will be barred from Bhakti Sangha Japa group. He said, how the heck we are calling this guy for the Bhagavatam class? Because my personal life, I know my personal life, my heart, my consciousness. So somewhere I need to make sure that I take the effort to improve based on what I speak, I should follow. So hence menial services help. And in the process of menial services, what we actually will gain is emotional strength, emotional intelligence, wherein we learn to see others from not our perspective, others from their perspective. We learn to appreciate them from their perspective. We learn to appreciate them from Krishna's perspective. We learn to appreciate them from great personalities' perspective. So our perspective will take second seat. And somebody said this, after all this endeavor in Krishna consciousness, if you have not become humble, then waste. And then you can't be humble without forgiving and without asking for forgiveness. And you can't become humble without being grateful. So These are all small packages, small packages. I was trying to tell the youths, they were saying, how do I search my, life partner who will be emotionally strong? Search for these 4 qualities. I mean, there are more signs and details to what I just said. But my point is, we are all emotionally weak people, because we always think, what do I get when I go to somebody's house, and what somebody will bring when they come to my house. That is how we were. Slowly, we are working on ourselves, and we have come to an extent that at least we are able to question, we are able to introspect. So I guess we keep continuing this. A day will come where I guess we will also start to enjoy, we will also start to smile, we will also start to be lighter, we will also start to shed tears, looking at how this devotee, in spite of all the challenges, he's still able to do things. And that is the greatness of Vaishnavas. When spiritual master sees disciple, even though every individual disciple between themselves, they may have their own different quotients, but when the spiritual master sees each of the disciple, he sees them with the karuna drishti. He sees them with merciful glance and loving glance. So we will get that as we proceed in this journey. That's the hope, and that's the history. And I'm hoping that one day we will also get there, and we'll be able to see each other with loving smile. Hare Krishna. If I'm making sense, Mataji.
Of course, Prabhu. Very wonderful. Kabe hage bolo aise dinamar. When that day will happen, when we'll
Sure.
see the other Vaishnavas with that same equipoised eyes. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you
Hare
so
Krishna.
much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Yes, no, thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhuji. Very wonderful explanation, Prabhu. Sunil Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu Dandatnam. Thank you so much for the also wonderful answers which you gave. Really helpful. Prabhu, just in addition, one question I have. How do we remove the expectations, Prabhu? Like, for example, oh, this devotee should respect me. At least when he sees me, he should at least say Hare Krishna to me. How do we remove these expectations, Prabhu?
I'll give you some very, transactional example. There are more depth that, we can keep talking about removal of expectations from all, higher level. But I'll give a very transactional example. This example can be applicable not only for expectation, that can be applicable for every question that you may have. You always have one senior to look up to. You always have one friend to share. You always have one junior to whom you preach, or to whom you are responsible for his growth and he listens to you. By the way, your junior misbehaves with you, or your junior having expectations towards you, unrealistic expectation towards you, about which what you think, you will be able to realize, oh my God, sometimes I have the similar mentality towards my seniors. It is a very interesting situation when we are with someone. We have some expectations from them, but are we fulfilling the expectations of them or of others under us? The answer is a big question mark. So this trivial situation, that I am expecting something from someone but I'm not getting, are you giving that someone? So this question will never end. It will only end when you position yourself in this triangle. Why friend? Because with whom you can have confidential exchanges. Dadati pratigrihnati guhyam makyati prachati. You can express, hey yaar, that guy is not reciprocating. I was expecting this. So a good friend will, respond you in a very useful manner. And a senior, why senior? Because you have an expectation from him, and at that time you know how you may have to have some patience or some reciprocations, or maybe you rise up to some standard for him to even give attention towards you. The same way you may be thinking for your juniors. So that is why, especially those who are students of Bhagavatam, those who are students of Chaitanya Charitamrita, all of us should have some preaching services by involving ourselves, because this preaching services teaches us a lot of lesson. I'll explain this in a much more colloquial manner. So long as you are not becoming a parent, your understanding of what a parent means is only superficial. The day you become father or the day you become mother, that's when your respect for your mother will increase 100 times. Unfortunately, that is how we learn. That is not the only way we can get. Some intelligent people can get without marriage also. That is why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj says, Prabhupada also says, if you are intelligent enough to understand the pain and pleasure of this material world, and if you are able to tolerate the material urges and able to practice Krishna consciousness, your life is much, much easier. You don't need to go through the ordeal of marriage life. So everything is very lighter. But because we don't learn that, because we don't follow that, we have to go through all the stages. The third day of marriage is, oh my God, I should have thought about it. Maybe, it's the right decision I'd taken or not. So you cannot come back. You keep walking that path, for the remaining 25 years. Hence, the point is, sometimes we have to position ourselves in some scenario for us to even comprehend the gravity of the situation. Otherwise, you very easy to say, Prabhu, he is expecting, I'm not able to fulfill. For sure, you are not able to fulfill, and the same scenario is for some of your seniors also. So that's the transactional answer. But getting rid of expectations from someone is the most subtlest part, if I can say, is that your duty is as a servant to serve and not expect back. That's a philosophy. A servant means is a beggar in the truest sense for Krishna Prema. And we think we are not qualified, so nothing to expect. I just serve and that's it. The service is my constitutional nature, and by just serving, my constitutional activity is fulfilled. This is the answer that Prahlad Maharaj gave to Narsinghadev. So you have two extreme answers. One is at the transcendental level, another is a transaction level. So now you figure it out which level you want to fit yourself in and apply them in your life. Is it okay?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much for this beautiful answer. Thank you so much. Yes, Karina Mataji, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranams, Prabhuji. Your lectures are very, very practical. And I have this one question. I have experienced this, and that's why I'm asking this. That's my nature. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I usually love devotees, and I really like to glorify them. And some of them, I really love them. Not that I dislike the others, but in particular, I really have so much respect that I always feel that, I should be like them. But invariably, I will say this, invariably, I'm not looking for it. I don't even try to find out. But through somebody or somehow, some negativity about them pops up to me. Invariably, this has happened. I'm not even looking to find out anything negative about them. I'm not even trying to look anything negative in them. But somehow Krishna arranges, I don't know whether I should say that, but it comes somehow, some story comes out that is not very positive. And of course, I don't try to judge them from that, because I always think that, anything, even it must be, I also must have done that in my past life. But how do I look at this? I don't know what I should think.
Do you know Krishna is a partial person? Do you know Krishna is a cheat? Do you know Krishna, cheated in the Mahabharata war multiple times? Do you know Krishna was so much, breaking his dharmic rules? Krishna also has faults, if you want to see faults.
Yeah, that's true.
So the whole science here is that Krishna consciousness perfection is in purity, not in being perfect. Krishna is okay with our imperfection. Krishna wants your purity. I'll give a simple example. Your child, 2 year young, 1.5 years young, 18 months young. You as a mother, you have been seeing your child's growth every day. The first day, when the child holds the pen or pencil or crayon or anything and draw something, what do you expect the child to draw? A line or some sort of, some scratching here and there. That day evening, there will be a celebration between father, mother. You see, our son, he scratched, he held this pen, he held this pencil. But if you show that to your neighbor or your friend or anybody, you see my son, theek hai yaar, what's the big deal? He just scratched it. But for you as a mother who have been seeing your son or a daughter, suddenly one day he improved from his previous day. He started scribbling, he started scratching, he started painting. It is not comparison to some great ones, but because there is an incremental growth, because there is an incremental evolution of his performance, your heart swells. You said, oh my God, very nice. Krishna is always seeing us from that perspective. That is why he's loving us. We are always seeing us in absolute sense. Our appearance and observation of everyone is, we see them as absolute. Okay, I am seeing the devotee. Look at his tilak. He's slightly broken, slightly, teda. Look at his dress. Look at his talk. Look at this. We are looking at from an absolute perspective, which is not the expectation. Our relationship is always, very different, and what we are expected is purely see the purity of the heart with intentions with which he do beyond perfection. That is why we have a standard statement in our community amongst devotees. Let us learn to accept each other with our imperfections and learn to appreciate the purity of purpose. If I have done like Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj one day was singing Mangalarti Samsara Dava song. Then he was singing for some reason, or maybe the lecture that I heard. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj did not sing to the tune or the melody that he's supposed to sing. And one brahmachari started laughing. Right after the Mangalarati, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj called that brahmachari and blasted him left, right, center. He's saying, what are you laughing at? Is this Mangalarati song supposed to be in melody? Is that the melody that is important for Krishna? What is Krishna watching in me? Of course, we are not trying to debate that we can sing non-melodiously to a public program. That's not what we are debating. We are debating on a very important point, that what is Krishna seeing? I mentioned this point of what is Gurudev's vision of his disciples? What is mother's vision of the children? The mother always, the ability for you to love your child is because you are incrementally seeing the growth and you are always seeing good side over the negative side. And unfortunately, that is not the perspective that we carry for the others, because we are still, our equation is me and Krishna, and others are just some extra bits, extra fittings. It's no. Me, others, then Krishna. Me, other devotees, then only Krishna. Me, devotees, Krishna. Me, devotees, Krishna. If you rearrange that equation, then every devotee will be useful to you. Maybe you may not be able to relate with that person, but still he is special. Maybe you will not be able to appreciate that person, but still he is special to Krishna. The way Krishna sees, the way Vaishnava sees, is for us to see. So bottom line is, our philosophy insists on purity is the force, not perfection is the force. In fact, perfection in Krishna consciousness is to be pure in heart. So all your mistakes, extra namak in your food, extra chili in your food, less spice in your food, everything is accepted to Krishna because he sees your love. What if Krishna starts throwing his plate out saying that, get rid, what nonsense you have cooked? I'm sure we will start disowning Krishna. Hey, ek din extra adjust nahi karega kya? Galti ho gaya humse. No, that's not what Krishna does. He accepts everything. He accepts everything that we do in whatever capacity because he sees your heart. It's the same way how you see your child's crayon scratching. You'll celebrate them. Whole night you'll be discussing. Maybe you'll call your mother. देखा क्या आज गुड्डू ने scratch किया, आज pencil पकड़ा, आज मम्मी से मम्मी तो क्या मम्मी माँ बोलने लगा. So you'll celebrate all of them. But that doesn't make anything great for somebody else because they don't share the same emotion. Am I making some sense here?
Yes, Prabhuji, absolutely, Prabhuji. And I don't know if I'm correct. I should, I don't know, I always get that indication. Maybe I should not overly glorify also some devotees.
Very
I
nice
don't know.
point. Very nice. That I was going to say that you reminded me. Basically, it's like this. In every Vaishnava relationship, please have realistic, proportionate glorification, not necessary to flatter. Just because we have been asked to glorify, it is important that we stay our limits in glorification in such a manner that is proportionate to your surrender.
Hmm.
Suddenly you are overwhelmed with love, and very next day you get to know that some bad news. You will start repenting. That's not going to be sustaining you.
Hmm.
I used to run a ashram before marriage. We are all like a brahmachari boys used to live together, and one fine day, all the ashram inmates, they came to me on my birthday. I'm talking about 20 or 30 years before. Ramgiridhari Prabhu, today is birthday. Here is 10,000 rupees. All of us were earning little less salaries or whatever that we were, and suddenly they came and gave me 10,000 rupees. I said, this is disproportionate love.
Hmm.
Since because you don't need to give 10,000 rupees. I mean, I was not insulting them, but I was trying to educate them, saying that your love for me or our love towards each other should be proportionate, consistent, evolving one, not sporadic one. Suddenly, because I'm an ashram leader, suddenly it's like a maska lagane ka, kind of flattering, because over glorifying is also an insult, and under glorifying is also insult. So glorify proportionately as much as you have an understanding about him. That's absolutely fine.
Hmm.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Wonderful answer and wonderful clarifications. Hare Krishna. Thankful to you.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for asking so beautiful questions, and thank you, Prabhuji, for asking so wonderfully answering. Jana and Mataji, please go ahead.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. It's my great fortune to be in your association. I haven't been able to be in your class, so I'm really, really fortunate to see you today and hear about all these wonderful practical lessons. Prabhuji, regarding the four qualities that you mentioned, humility, gratitude, about emotionally intelligent. In this particular situation that I wanted to talk to you about, for instance, you're doing your service and there's a little bit of a tiff because someone saw you in another temple and you want to go to both temples, and then the other temple is not an ISKCON temple, and then they found you to be in the other, like all of a sudden, in other words, this person, it's not um he didn't make the arrangement. He was engaged in service. He was asked, and the next thing that you know is like, okay, well, you're not an ISKCON devotee, like, you shouldn't be here. This person let it go for a moment, and then the following week it was the same thing, and it was a senior going that. How does this person that was asked to be of service and really really coming from like, I just want to do service, like, I don't make the arrangement. I just show up. From the four qualities that you've mentioned, how does the person should exhibit Vaishnav etiquette, but at the same time not feeling like bullied? So what's your advice on this, Prabhuji?
Okay, I'll tell you some foundational principles. You can see how you want to apply to the current context, because for whatever context you said, to even for me giving context specific answer, I might need more details, which I do not want to get into.
Okay.
But I'll tell you a principle. This principle, you can apply them in every relationship related situations, whether it is friends, devotees, marriage. I think I've shared this in one of the earlier classes. The principle of ignore, preach, clarify, and get corrected. So we always say this anytime in your dealings with devotees or any beloved or relationships anywhere, when there is a scenario to decide what my next course of action is, you attach a tag. Is this situation to be ignored? Is the situation to be clarified? Is the situation to be preached? Is it situation for me to get corrected? Maybe sometimes there's a gray area, which we'll separately talk about. But the idea is that many situations in my counseling sessions to families and situations is that we cross assign the tags. What is supposed to be ignored, we go and preach. What is supposed to be preached, we try to clarify. What is supposed to be clarified, we try to get corrected. And that creates such a mess that, we sometimes overdo things or underperform some things, and the whole agenda would have been, completely gone topsy turvy. What would have started as a small transactional statement becomes a big fight amongst community members. So the reason is sometimes what happens in Vaishnava relationships, we tend to be, because what happens is when we are in the outside world, we are so much deceived by people. We are hungry when we come to devotees. We expect everything one day. One single day, he should be loving, caring, he should be serving, he should shed tears, hair should be standing on the end. All sorts of emotions are supposed to exhibit on the same day. We have sometimes as expectations, or somebody has expectations, with us like that. That is not possible. We are all, people where limping and rolling and, with so much of difficulties we are coming to Krishna. Every day when we come to Krishna and stand, I know how many sorries I would have said to Krishna till now. You know your heart. Everybody know how many times, sorry Krishna, forgive me. Sorry Krishna, forgive me. Sorry Krishna, forgive me. Because why? Making mistakes again, making mistakes. So when people have expectations upon us, or we have, so we have to use this formula. It worked wonders, because sometimes that is ignore. Okay, if he gone to other temple, so what? He is not you are not his controller. Sometimes we become counselor or mentor, we said control. Oh, you have to go this way, go straight, turn left, turn right. You should walk the trajectory that I said. That's not how devotional service work. That's not how spiritual master controls. That's not how Krishna wants to control. This is a process with pure love. Yes, there are instructions, there are directions, but it is not in the manner by which sometimes we exhibit. Sometimes we devotees, we overdo. We kind of, oh my God. Oh, he went to the demigod temple. Oh, Krishna, he's second initiated devotee. How can even he go there? Oh my God, setting up. Relax. I mean, relax. It's not a crime. No, there are many things, I mean, when your father-in-law comes, you make coffee for him at your home. So what, you will not make or what? I'll tell you a scenario. My father and mother, my mother is still there with me. My father passed away in COVID. So my father and mother are very, I mean, naturally for every child, their parents are special. And so do, my parents are special for me because they taught me a lot. But my father is not an ISKCON devotee. And I am the leader in my yatra, in my place and things like that. Whenever my father comes to, my father used to be in another city. So whenever he comes to be with me, he needs coffee. Every day he needs coffee. Me and my mother, we have DTs. We have very sincere standard of kitchen standards. Whatever, in a temple we follow. This is eating plates, cooking plates. We all keep them. We are very particular about them. So sometimes it becomes a little, difficult to even cope up when we have people who are not following the standards. But when your own parents come, what do you do? So when my father come, I make coffee for him, and I go to the coffee shop. I mean, to buy coffee. When some devotees saw me, and they may think, "Oh my God, Ramgiridhari is buying coffee and taking home." So 100,000 questions will come. And how, am I supposed to go and answer him saying that this is for my father? I am not drinking it, but I cannot preach my dad saying that, Dad, I can't give you coffee. I said, get lost, he'll slap me and said, I gave you my life to your growth. So the message here is very simple. Did I do a crime? Did I do something, wrong by giving coffee? Maybe in some sense, yes, I should have avoided. But no, my father has his own journey. My duty is to just help him, respect him. He has allowed me to become a devotee. My mother every time says that don't flaunt yourself as a great devotee. When you are in the womb, I went to 25 temples and prayed that my son become a devotee. I am hearing that statement, I'm indebted to her. She may not be the devotee that we talk about. So, bottom line is, Srila Prabhupada explains that Krishna consciousness life means a life of gentleman. What gentleman means? You conduct yourself correctly and help others by your conduct, not by your statements. Your statements is the last thing. Your conduct alone will change them. Our statements will have less effects than our conduct. So if it is you to them or them to you, I guess the message is simple. We need to make sure that we simply talk about Krishna, glorify about Krishna, unless you are part of a policy body, unless you are part of a very important course correction meeting, unless you are part of a committee where you are going to decide about somebody's candidature and behavior, where you are given the service to assess, evaluate somebody's conduct. It is going to be, he's going to go for initiation, please give your review. Unless you have that service, enjoy, let them go, they have their trajectory. People can make mistakes. Krishna is not with guns. Krishna is with lotus flowers in his hand. Even if he is going to beat us with his lotus flower, it is not going to hurt us. It is we who are carrying guns. Krishna consciousness is a different process. It is a process simply, imbued with love and only love. Only love means how Krishna would see us. I'm not sure if you have time, but I'll tell you an interesting story. One day, Krishna in Vrindavan, there was a very humble devotee who was a janitor who was cleaning the temple. Was very simple, very humble devotee. He looked at Krishna and said, Krishna, yaar, every day you are standing morning till evening giving darshan and mercy to so many people. I guess you should take some rest. Maybe one day I will take your place and stand as Krishna, so that you relax and go and lie down and take some rest peacefully. One day, no visitors, no prayers, no fulfilling. So I will be Krishna, so you go and take rest. So Krishna loved that offer. Oh my God, thank you, nobody made this offer, so let me accept this offer. And then Krishna said, on one condition, I will allow you to stand as me, and I will go and take rest. He said, what is that condition? You should simply keep quiet. Whatever happens, you should not react. Whatever that is happening in front of me, front of you, because you're going to stand as Krishna, so many things are going to happen in front of you. You should simply not react. So this devotee said, okay, that's okay, fine. So Krishna, made this person look like Krishna, and he took the position of Krishna standing in a flute. So one person came and said, oh my dear Lord, I'm so hungry, so poor, so whatever. He started crying and please help me. I do not have anything to give you. I'm hungry. I need some money for maintenance. So he prayed and paid obeisances and left. And second, there was one very rich guy who came with his wallet full of money, and he came and he just prayed the Lord, gave some dakshina, and when he got up, he forgot his wallet. So this janitor standing as Krishna, say, he was almost tempted. Hey Prabhu, you forgot your wallet. It's having a lot of money. Please take it. But he was about to tell. He didn't tell. He kept quiet. Then in the meanwhile, the previous guy who was really, poor, he came, he was hanging around, he saw that wallet, and he said, thank you, Krishna. I was asking for money. He gave me money, he picked it up and left. Now the third guy came. So this guy, he said, he came and started crying. Krishna, I am leaving my family. I am a sailor. Now I have to leave my family and go far away place. And, I don't like them. Somehow I want to stay. I want to stay here. I do not want to travel. I hate sailing or whatever you want to say. He said that. So in the meanwhile, police came with the second guy who was searching for the missing wallet. And, they saw this guy was there and the wallet was missing. So everybody saw that this guy is the thief and he arrested. So this person who was standing as Krishna, he couldn't control himself. He said, no, he's not the thief. Thief is somebody else. This was stolen by, not by him. He is another person. And that's when Krishna appeared and said, you see what? The person who took the money, he's really in need of money. I wanted him to get that money. The person who lost the money, he's supposed to lose the money because he earned that money in a wrong way. And the person who got caught, he's supposed to get caught because he is not supposed to sail for his good. So my arrangement of who gets what, who gets punished, who gets rewarded, at what point in time is an absolutely complex algorithm that you can't figure it out. Just by your normal observation, if you just conclude he is right, who's wrong, that's not how it works. So, it's a story that Radheshyam Prabhu explains to say that how the perspective in which Krishna sees things is not the same perspective in which we see things. So better we learn to see from Krishna's perspective than from our perspective. That's something that I want to say. I'm not sure if I did help you in your situation, but this is the summary substance.
Prabhuji, I totally got it. I'm very happy with your answer. Like I said, it really truly is my great fortune to be in your association today, and I do feel like Krishna's words work through your amazing service. So I'm eternally grateful, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Havi Bol Jai. Thank you so much, Soji, for so beautiful answers. Prabhu, do you have time? One more question is there. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. Yes, Vinda Gopika Mataji, please go ahead.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी, कोटि कोटि दंडवत प्रणाम. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev ki jai, Gopinath ki jai. Prabhuji, sometimes when our relatives came, we give them a respect as a father and mother, and they are following different months, Sisi Swaminarayan. So I have to get up 3:30 and do my japa because they don't like. They are criticize our Guru Parampara. And from childhood, I have seen younger brother is following that. So we are going to their temple with Kanti and Tulsi Mala, and even the brahmachari are not sinners, but they are allowed to cook Mahaprasad Bhoga for Shri Radha Krishna and Bhakti Devi Tulsi Maharani Dharamraj. So it is very painfully. I'm not criticize anybody, but somebody is going to say anything about my Guru Parampara or Srila Prabhupada, then it's very painful. And I have seen that every day it's a 5-6 hour going on Katha of Shri Swaminarayan Bhagavan, and suddenly Sisi Jagannath Balram Subhadrani, Gaurnita, Sisi Jagannath Balram Subhadrani is came there. So sometimes we think that why people are criticized, and sometimes we are not able to give answer to them because they are older than us. Then Krishna will give them answer. Prabhuji, but it is very painful that somebody is criticize our Guru Parampara. So I keep mum, but still it's hurt me. So what I have to do in this situation?
I will again give a generic answer than the specific for the situation. In our Vaishnava practices, please be absolutely sure that Krishna will put us in every possible situation where our qualities will have to get developed. Meaning, suppose if I do not have humility, Krishna will humiliate me, tell me how I am not humble, so that I come to terms to say that I need to build humility. Suppose if we do not have tolerance, suppose if we do not have patience, suppose if we do not have daya, suppose if we do not have cleanliness, what does Krishna does? You chant well, you serve well, you have nice intention to practice Krishna consciousness. Still, if Krishna is putting us through some difficult, trivial situation, it is meant to be like that for us to evolve and learn some things. I will not learn unless I am. It is like I may be thinking I am very humble. till somebody humiliates me. Otherwise, I'll be in the illusion that I am humble. I'll be thinking that I'm very simple. I'll be thinking that I'm very great. So, in Krishna conscious practices, the reason why we are put through different circumstances is it is for us to evolve, improve upon. It is Krishna's arrangement. It is like a mother is special only because she know to handle the most difficult, trivial situation in family, and that's why she stand out. If everything, father cooperates, mother cooperates, children cooperate, brother cooperates, everybody cooperates, then what is the great thing that mother has contributed? Because people are non-cooperating, still she is able to, stay calm, stay cool, and contribute to the service. Her stature is going way up there. So my 2 cents here is, in Krishna consciousness, all perturbing, all disturbing situations that we encounter are meant for our growth and learning. This is how we should see every possible situation. When I'm in difficult situation, I should learn to see what is there for me to learn from this. What is there for me to that I have not been doing it correctly, that Krishna wants me to fix it. I say this the last sentence, that if I am repeatedly being put in a similar type of situation, Krishna may want me to learn something from the situation. Till I learn, that situation is not going to change. So better I learn, then Krishna will go to project 2. So Krishna will also take in Ramgiridhari. Now project is to make him humble, to make him simple, to make him tolerant, to make him, generous. So Krishna, how he will do that? He will not just, give a packet, okay, this is humility packet, drink this sachet, you'll become humble. He's not going to do that. He's going to make me go through various circumstances, various situations, various ordeals, ups, downs, and so many circumstances. And then he will make me realize, because I'm not an easy student. If I was an easy student, in 2 lectures, I would have learned them. So, it is very important for us to understand that any perturbing situations in our practice of Krishna consciousness is meant to make us become diamond. Right now, we are diamondable koila. We are charcoal, which has got the potential to become diamond. From the charcoal stage to diamond stage, कोयला से हीरा बनने के बीच बहुत सारे स्टेजेस में गुजारना पड़ता है. तो बहुत सारे तकलीफ में झेलना पड़ता है, तब जाके कोयला हीरा बन जाती है. हर कोयला हीरा नहीं बनती है. एवरी चारकोल डजंट बिकम डायमंड, but that one that becomes one has to go through so many stress, so many pressure, so many circumstances. So Vaishnavas are not called just Vaishnavas just because of anything, because they have learned to be holding on to their principles in the most perturbing situation. So coming back to your heart feeling perturbing when Guru Parampara is offended is a very genuine feeling, but you will have to figure it out in such situations. How do you take very prudent and mature steps, because your family is equally important, your commitment to your Guru Parampara is equally important. So different circumstances, different strategies will work, but the principle is Krishna is making you go through this for a special reason. I'm not sure if I fully helped you in your question, but at least that's the answer that I could give. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Koti Koti Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, and we'll pray for you, Mataji. And Prabhuji, just I have one silly question, Prabhu. Swami. In the past time, we see Prabhu like Mahaprabhu is chasing with the fishing rod, Prabhu. I was thinking no one was doing fishing, Prabhu, at least devotees. So why fishing rod? That was
it's a translation. Fishing rod is, it's like a stick. I don't know why they were fishing rod. It's a good question. I'm not know. But the idea is that you got into the technical side of the description. Sometimes the danda ko, they may be calling in different names. So fishing rod could be the reference to a metal stick or that stick which is a, in Tamil they call as a perambu, where they call that is like a bow type, which is like a long one, which can, bow. So maybe, he's using that. Why he's using that? Maybe they were all sitting around. Maybe in their house it was lying there. Maybe somebody else were a fisherman around. We don't have many details. But at least for sure that he wanted to have fun, so he did things fun. I don't know.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for so beautiful class. If there are no more questions, then we can call through with your permission.
Yes, we can.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, once again for so beautiful class, and we need your association more and more. Dear devotees, let us pay obeisances. Vancha kalpatobhyasya kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo.
So much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, koti dandavat
Prabhupada
pranam.
ki
Jai Shri
jai. His
Prabhupada.
Ramgiridhari ki jai.
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 Thank you so much,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Keshi
Very
Radhe.
for
Radhe
joining
Radhe.
us.
Hare Krishna.
Such a wonderful class and such a wonderful answer, Prabhuji Mataji's question. I think it should be. I was thinking same thing for myself. This is good, Prabhuji. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, dear devotees, thank you all so much for joining. We'll end up here. See you all tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Krishna. Hare